I gotta hook you up here with look at you. You're gorgeous. Gorgeous. Can you see yourself?
I'm just writing to him now.
All right. I don't know if I'd be able to just pull off the audio from the WhatsApp. Pronto, uno, due. Look at you.
No, I don't see myself. I just see a little bit of you.
You just see a little bit of me. How about like this?
And I feel like I'm going backwards, like I'm leaning in my chair.
You feel like you're going backwards, like you're leaning in your chair.
Like maybe the thing is getting loose and the foam is going backwards, right?
No, well, sorry, this is as good as it's going to be. What's up? We have Liban Youssef, GZ, Larry, Massimo, buonasera. We're trying to live Steve here. Maurizio says hello. I don't know if you can see the comments, you, Steve, on your end.
No, I didn't go on my computer.
All right, so I'm gonna turn you on Bluetooth after we get into our call. Well, after I put in the music. Sabrina, buonasera. Guys, we tried Zoom. We tried to figure out with Skype. We tried to figure out so many things, but unfortunately, it's not for Steve and I. But here we are. I took a...
But for people that say Zoom is 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, you have to pay.
Yeah, it's exactly what Presidente wants. But I took a phone from work, Steve. S20 Ultra. Might as well put it to use. You know, I told my boss, what is it going to do? You know, collect dust while we're at it. So you're in glorious high definition. GZ wants to know what we got to do in Canada while all this madness going on. We're doing, dude. Montreal, I think, Steve, we're on the skirts of being closed down completely. We're at over 3,000 cases as of today. Marco Rodriguez, love this guy. Stay hard. I guess we'll stay hard, whatever that means. And how do you guys hear Steve's voice through this? I know we're gonna put it on speaker after, but how's it so far? Exploit the mantra of Marcello. Larry understands. As soon as Presidente heard there's a $45 charge, $45.
We don't have a budget for that.
No, there's no budget for that. Guys, we're gonna give everybody a couple of minutes, and Stevie came through this week. He got us quite the presidential point perspective, but he's obviously gonna take the time to explain to you how the presidential points did not come to be. As long as you guys can hear everything fantastic, we're gonna give it a couple of more minutes, and that's it. Look at you, Steve. Fantastic. Steve's a little bit to shift phone, Steve, a little bit to your right. Okay, so you want me to put him up a bit more like this? Look at him. He's gorgeous. I'm just trying to get the less reflection possible, guys. See, because it's got the...
We're bric-a-brac.
We are bric-a-brac. Oh, I'm almost lost you. You know what, Steve? I think we're going to go like this. Look at you. It's perfect.
Okay, let's get it on.
Let's get it on? All right, guys, hold on to your horses. Here we go. From Canada's own. Courage. That's what we're all looking for right now. Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here where we talk everything Milan, from No Serie A Milan to Bric-a-Brac Podcast Milan. As you can see, we got Steve live here through the internet machine, and we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
There we go. So, Steve, let me set you up here on Bluetooth so we can hear you a bit better. As you guys can see here. everything's done, just the way, just the way we were taught. Bric-a-brac. And let me go back to Steve. Steve, give us a couple of talks here. Can we hear you?
Hey ho, everybody, stay strong, stay positive. We're gonna get over this.
There we go. So, I gotta put you back normal, Steve. Back normal. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, Steve. So, I got say hello to Larry, to Jay-Z, to Sabrina. Yes, the hip Sabrina. I need to put out some Canadian music. I haven't shaved. Look at me. I'm disgusting. Anthony, hello. Maurizio, Marco, Gigi La Patat, Liban Youssef, Massimo. Hello to everybody. Hello to Steve. Thank you for joining us, Steve, live the WhatsApp machine.
I'm here.
You're there. So, Steve, before we get into this tremendous presidential point to present to you got for us. Now, everybody's been kind of, most of us have lost our jobs. We've been in quarantined. Some of us, like Steve, that have kids, staying home, working from home, and juggling kids. So, Steve, a lot of us may say that we had a lot more time on our hands. Am I wrong by saying this? It's like, we're home. No?
A little bit of extra time.
I have a little bit of extra time. So I thought that maybe this week we were going to get presidential points, but it doesn't seem that it was the case. Now, for our listeners' pleasure and our viewers as well, can you please bring out your inner Bob Ross and paint us a picture on how these presidential points this week did not come to be?
Everybody, I'd just like to say that I don't use Facebook Messenger very often. I'm almost never on Facebook. So that's our quarantine Calabrese President Marcello, who this week conveniently forgot to attend the all hands on deck group melee on Facebook by the President David and his wonderful first lady tried to put together. He says he doesn't use Facebook. He was busy with quarantine calculation, calculating gas and calculating how much grocery he has to buy this week and how much grocery he has to buy next week. He has the stock load in toilet paper, that's for sure. But he's investing a little bit in Lupini and Kind and also canned goods, and is working on basically life after quarantine.
He was right.
Take a run.
He was rationing, Steve.
I don't know. Work a little bit on that physique of his, that glorious God physique. So he bought himself the Bowflex, which will be delivered in about 7 to 8 weeks, and he's going to be working on that. Because of that Bowflex, Vinny, no presidential points have been created this week.
Presidente bought himself a Bowflex.
Bowflex.
All right. So for you guys that not know, David tried to organize a Zoom call with some key members in the Milan community. I was stuck watching Frozen 2 with my nieces for the 67th time. Steve has kids, and then it's just funny that maybe Steve, that David and the First Lady thought that he was actually going to participate in this call. He needs a private invitation. He needs a secure line. He can't just come on to these, chats from over there. But thank you for explaining to us why these presidential points cannot to be. But live to, I know we're not as many as usual, but times are hard. But we're still here, and thanks to messages from everybody saying, they appreciate us still managing to do this kind of stuff. We appreciate it as well, hearing it from you guys. And we're going to try to do our best until they tell us otherwise. Right, Steve?
Of course. We're going to be here till we can't do it no more.
All right. So do you want to call him right away, or do you want to take a couple of Instagram questions, Steve?
No, I think we're going to call right away.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm going to let you do the honors. This is where Presidente guys edits it out. This is like the time that it's silent time. So it's like, guys, I need to get it to 45 minutes.
Hello.
So
What's up, guys?
and it's guys,
What's up?
it's David Amoyal directly, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of my my video, but it's all good. It's all good. How are you, David?
Great to see you guys.
Great to see you, buddy. Great to see you guys. It's David Amoyal live on What's Up. We didn't think it was gonna live video, but David, this is what we're stuck doing. We're stuck doing live video from a phone, and here we are. And I'm gonna try to put it this way so everybody can see you, and everybody can see.
Kind of better, maybe if I'm not on the video.
Yeah, maybe we didn't plan.
I have a face for radio.
We didn't plan for that one, but thanks, guys. This, you know what? We needed to prove to you this is live.
Yeah.
All right, so Steve, very big call that you got for us here, and I would like you to. How did you get David Amoyal from Cultureland, from his fantastic podcast, from everything that he's done? How did you get in the inner circle, as they would say in AEW wrestling, the inner circle, Steve?
Obviously, it's 100% because of my good looks. That's number one.
Obviously.
But all jokes aside, I followed David for a long time. Listened to his wonderful podcast, Cultureland. He's had he's given me the pleasure and the honor to be on it multiple times. And basically, I know everybody's going through a tough time. Everybody in their different cities is going through a specific tough time, some more than others. And you know what? I reached out to David. I said, David, do you want to have a laugh with us at this? We are not professionals, nor do we pretend to be podcasts, and be the presidential point producer for this week. And of course, David took it upon himself, said, I'm going to take Marcello's place. For sure, I'm going to do.
Well, I love your podcast. I love the passion, your sense of humor. That's why I've had you on mine many times. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us, David. And I know that Steve's been there many times. I've been a guest on your podcast, and it's always appreciated. You taking the time. And Steve, why don't you let him give us these presidential points? We have no idea what they are. I think we're going to go with this flow. Correct, Steve?
Yes, this is the flow. We contact everybody. We tell them you're the presidential point producer for this week. You come up with your questions. I don't want to know what they are. Vinny doesn't want to know what they are. We get live on YouTube, and the presidential point producer spews out the questions, and we answer.
So go ahead, David.
So I'm up. Okay. So I want to ask you, let's assume the season doesn't end. What type of manager would you have to know can replace Pioli for you to be in favor of removing Pioli? Like, what's the level of manager that needs to be better than Pioli?
You're saying if the season does continue?
No, if the season were to end today and we don't play any more games, what type of manager would you need to see as a replacement for Pioli for you to be in favor of replacing Pioli?
Ooh, that's a good one, Steve. Somebody to replace.
We don't mess around here, Vinny. We don't mess around. When we get a presidential point producer, these are quality questions.
Yes. Steve,
for me, you want me to take it, Vinny?
Steve, you know what? Let me ask you this one. Would Spalletti be in that category?
Well, for me, to be very honest, Joe, I would not make the same mistake that we did with Gattuso. If it's going to be a Ragnick-style manager that they're going to go in a different direction and they want to give him multiple positions, multiple roles, I'm all for it. Like we said on other podcasts, giving someone a chance like that who has proven and has built teams in a specific way. Yes, I would go that way. The other way is a high profile coach. If you tell me Max Allegri is going to come back, and I am not, Vinny, you know, I am not a Max Allegri fan, but I have to say that Max Allegri would make an impact on this Milan team and at least have some sort of direction and project. But if I'm changing 4 quarters for a dollar, I'm not making a change on Pioli. And I think maybe that was a mistake that Maldini and Boban might have made with the two.
Awesome.
What do you think, David?
So let me ask you next. Who, if you had to bet in 3 years, is going to be a better player between Leao and Paqueta? And just like you, I just love saying Leao, but I'm very curious to see in 3 years who will be better between him and Paqueta if you had to bet.
He's coming with the hard ones, Steve. I like it. Just
Vinny, you go first. You go first on this one, Vinny, and I'll go right after.
I'm gonna have to say, like, I'm a sucker for Paqueta because I believe we still have not seen enough from him, enough consistency. Coming from a team that shit on Bakayoko for 5-6 games straight because he couldn't play for shits, and then all of a sudden we became in love with him because he had the opportunity. On the sole base of age, I will probably say Leao, but as close to a world-class player, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that these guys are world-class players, but the one that we become closest, I would say Paqueta, but given the opportunity. Steve?
For me, David, I love Leao. But Leao, the last couple of games of the season, Dave and Vinny, it's really disappointed me. He's had the opportunity to come on, more opportunity than Paqueta has had. And unfortunately, when he's either come on or started, we haven't seen that hunger to stay on the field, to be part of that 11 La Rosa of Milan. And Paqueta as well. Paqueta, I give him a little bit of a pass just because he did play in a very tough league, Brasileiro, where it is a lot about flair. It's not too much about teamwork, and he had to come to Italy and unlike Leao, he came from Brazil. Leao came from Portugal. It's 2 different transitions. Yes, they have to know the language. Yes, they have to get accustomed to a new country. But of the 2, I like Leao, but I think of the 2, Paqueta in 3 years will be a better player than Leao.
Okay.
Awesome. How about you, David? What do you think, very quickly, between both of them?
It's a good question. I'm going to go Leao. I love saying the name, but I'm starting to be a little bit concerned that Paqueta is one of those players that looks great on a short highlight and whatnot. And that sometimes I get enamored with that sort of stuff in a game too. I think Leao's speed, dribbling, and there were some few flashes this season where I got a little bit excited. So I'm going to go with Leao. So next question, and I'm not going to let you guys off easy. If you could pick one manager between Sacchi, Capello, and Ancelotti to take over the current Milan, who would it be and why?
Oh, wow.
Everybody who knows me knows my answer.
I would probably say Ancelotti for myself because not demeaning what the other 2 did, but I think a Sacchi, Steve and I, coming from the same kind of workplace, managers at work, we know that our managerial styles from 20 years ago is not going to run it the Iron Fist is not going to do it in today's age. I'm not saying that Sacchi wouldn't be able to get it done, but in today's age, I don't think players will respond to him as well as it is back then. Capello seems to have the most modern ideal for football. Capello, from what we've seen in the last, his last stints, I would probably say Ancelotti, but not demeaning or taking anything away from the other 2. Steve?
Yeah. So for me, Dave, not given the fact that Saki and Capello have been gone out of the game for quite a bit of time, and I don't think that they will be able to catch up. But I'm an Ancelotti fan. I'm an Ancelotti fan just because what he did with Milan, yes, they had world-class players, but just an example of him thinking outside the box with someone like Pirlo. Going and get this guy from Inter, bringing him to taking a risk, bringing him to either himself or the administration. I know people are going to nitpick at that, but it was a communal decision to bring Pirlo from Inter to Milan and take this guy and put him right in front of the defense and say, you know what? You become the maestro. I will give you this pit bull right next to you, which is Gattuso, which was also a chance because of those world-class players. Another manager might have overlooked Gattuso and said, you know what? Maybe you're not good enough for this team. But he gave people a role. And I think that's important in today's football. Now, people are going to say, yeah, but he's always taking over good teams. But he's always taken over good teams because he knows how to manage the players as well. Unfortunately, Chelsea, 2 stints at Chelsea didn't go as planned. Real Madrid was great for him. PSG was, again, I call it the vacation spot. You win the league, you win the League Cup, and then you have to make a miracle. You have to try to make a miracle in Champions League. But Bayern was a little bit of a disappointment for him. Now at Everton, it's a challenge. Now Everton, we're gonna see. Everton is not the most eye-catching of places for players to go and play. Everybody sees Liverpool as the place to go in the English Premier League, and especially Everton is that derby between Liverpool and Everton is the blue and the red, right? But he's on the blue side now, and he has to make some tough choices, and he has to try to attract some people to Everton. I'm curious to see what happens in this project, and I can't forget the Napoli project. So the Napoli project, I think that they gave up on him way too quickly. Now, people are going to say, yes, they hired Gattuso and their form changed. But that all started with that whole fiasco from ownership, and because of a couple of negative results, they decided to do what almost every team does and send people out to, not a punishment, but like a retreat style where you're not going home. It just caused a lot of chaos there, and I think that he deserved a bit more time because he took a chance to go to Napoli, and I think if someone would have to take over Milan, my choice, and he's probably my favorite coach is Ancelotti.
Okay, awesome answer. Okay, I have one more.
All right.
If you could bring back one of these players in his prime to help the current Milan, who would it be and why? So you can take Nesta, you can take Gattuso, or you could take Shevchenko. You can have only one of these 3 players in this prime to come help this current Milan. Who do you pick and why?
Sheva. Sheva right away. For me, it's, for scoring goals. And you're saying in his prime, if we got to take in consideration now that we'll take him in his prime, Ibra's not going to be... he's not going to be around for very long. Gattuso, we can see a bit of Benacer in him, right? Nesta, he can't really compare, but I think our big lack would be if we can have a Sheva in his prime. Yeah, definitely for me, Shevchenko. You, Steve?
For me, it was. I wanted to blurt out Sheva, but I'm giving Benny the podcast ethical politeness and make him answer first. But for me, it would be the Ukrainian tank, Shevchenko. I want to see someone wear number 7 again and give it some limelight and give it some pride again. When they signed Shevchenko at Milan, I was younger than I am now, but I said, wow, how is this guy going to do it? Coming from the Ukraine, you saw him play in the Champions League and create some damage, but never did I think he would be the physical specimen. So like strong, fast, and powerful. Strong, fast, and powerful like that. The last time, like at Milan, it's a long time that we don't have a striker that's that fast, that strong, that powerful, and that could score goals on a regular basis. Yes, surrounded by very good people, but in that time when Shevchenko was there, Serie A was stacked with some good and great defense, and it was not easy. It was not Juve running away with titles. It was the titles were fought till the end. The stacked teams, the 7 Signorine, all had a chance. The Lazio was strong, Roma was strong, Juve, of course, they're strong. Inter was strong. There was Shevchenko, Vieri, and the real Ronaldo in one league.
The real Ronaldo. I like it. I like it. Okay, one last question. Who do you think would have won the Scudetto this season had it played out? Had this awful situation not happened at all? Who do you think would have won the Scudetto? I'm going to say I think Lazio would have won it.
No, I have to disagree, David.
Yeah,
and
sorry,
I
Dave.
like to disagree with you when I'm on Calcio Live. I love disagreeing with you. I'm going to disagree with you again on Milan Weekly Podcast, and I'm going to say Juventus would have won the Scudetto. I hate them. I don't want them to win, but unfortunately, the head-to-heads against Inter, they won. Yes, they lost against Lazio, but Lazio, knew, and everybody else knows, even the Laziali know, that there was going to be the Lazio slump. The Lazio slump comes at the worst possible time for them to lose absolutely everything. And now we're coming. And unfortunately, Juve's depth would have taken over. So Lazio, in my opinion, was at a fantastic season, and it's too bad, not only for the circumstances that we're going through right now in the world, but even for them as a club and as a family. I think they had a real chance. But in the end, Juventus would have probably came up on it.
Steve, I don't know why I picture this like Lazialista saying, yeah, but we were just 2 points away and it came down to the last season, and the Juventus fans saying nobody's going to remember that when it comes down in the history books. Yeah, so I'm with you, Steve. I don't think Lazio would have pulled it off. I think they would have maybe choked in the last minutes, or Juve would have found some way how to win, but I hate them as well. I wouldn't want them to win, but I'm with Steve on this one, Dave. How about you? You definitely think
I don't know.
Lazio?
I have to say I started to buy the Lazio storyline. I really did, and I've been on their bandwagon for a while. But there was something about this Juve this season that just I don't know.
But
I don't know if we'll ever know, but it was definitely would have been very intriguing to see, to say the least.
So let me ask.
Imagine how lucky they are, David, that one of probably the worst Juve seasons never ends.
And
ends halfway. That's how lucky they are.
And Dave,
you know what, Dave? I know why you like Lazio, because you're the president and chairman of the SMS club there, the Savic Salas club there.
I love Savic. I have to say, I've always liked Immobile. Luis Alberto, I think, is maybe after Ilicic the most fun player to watch in Serie A. So Acerbi is a great story, and I've always had a soft spot for Lazio, but definitely Milinkovic Savic, no doubt about it. But guys, I can't thank you enough. It's always a blast to chat with you. I love your podcast, love your energy. Thank you so much for having me on. It's really always a pleasure, and I look forward to welcoming you back on mine very soon.
Guys, catch him live. David Amoyal on Calcio Line. Fantastic stuff every week. He's got a bit more followers than us on Twitter there, Steve, I believe. But guys, fantastic stuff. Always straight down the middle. We appreciate what you do. And yes, we'll have you back soon in these quarantine times. Hopefully you guys are safe over there.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Ciao.
Stay safe.
Have a good one. Dave is on he's on a schedule. He's on a schedule. He's got I got a couple of minutes for Milan Weekly Pod. But the guys, Calcio Land. I know Steve's been on a couple of times. I've been on a couple of times. Always fantastic stuff. But now, Steve,
yes.
Thank you for getting us this marvelous guest. And I'm just trying to set you up here so everybody can see you properly. All right. And Presidente, he did try to send us some questions, but I don't have access to WhatsApp because it's only on the phone that I'm reading there. But let's go to Twitter questions. So let's see what we have. Unless you guys have any questions on YouTube, please feel free. First question of hashtag Ask Vinny and Steve. Milan Mo, hey guys. What Milan related documentaries, movies, and books can you recommend, and do you think Castrovilli is possible? Milan related documentaries, movies, and books. Steve, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna go get the books that I have in my bedroom. I'm gonna show them to everybody.
Go off to your palace of power there, guys. To be very honest, I've yet to see a documentary on Milan. I think we had that question from Frank, if I'm not mistaken, if they would have to come up with a Milan documentary. What would it be called and what would it be about, right? So, it's sad because that's a little bit part of how Milan lost a bit of its luster in terms of the global scale. Because, guys, Juve has their own. There's Liverpool documentaries. But there's missing books. I know Vinny has a lot of books. Faz, of course, on the comments, he says he hates that book.
He has this book, Mille Une Storie. Mille Une Storie sul Grande Milan. Fantastic little short stories, fantastic even illustrations of players, this and that. This was a great read for me. It just gives you an in-depth into the history. I was actually looking through my hard drive, Steve, and I found the Paolo Maldini documentary that was done fully in Italian. I don't know how many years ago. I know it's been on my hard drive for a long time. It's about 2 hours. Great insight on his life story. But Lord of Milan was I like that one as well.
Milan, yeah, I was sorry.
Lord of Milan was good one.
Milan was really good. But I'm saying that was like Milan, its history. I enjoyed that, but I'm talking about like a modern day kind of like I don't know, modern day kind of like a Netflix style one where it's a couple of episodes or like it's a series documentary. That I don't know of any, but Lord of Milan, very good.
Since it was
Gentleman di Milan is good too. Gentleman di Milan is good too.
Yes, and David has a good question here. What do you guys think of the Kepa plus 60 million for Donnarumma rumors? Now, I know it came out today, and people like in this coronavirus era seems to find some sort of stories. I don't know if there's any truth to it, Steve, but Kepa and Donnarumma for money, and they were going to offer him $8 million a year. I don't know, Steve. What do you think he would be leaving? I don't know. Is this season?
I don't know what it is. I told you last week. We said it. Interesting times after this. After the whole coronavirus and COVID-19 is gone and out of our hair, and we could go back to regular life and regular culture. There's a lot of things that are going on. But if I would have to skip all that and fast forward, if I'm Milan, for Donnarumma, I want money. I don't want people's secondary stuff. They don't want Kepa. They haven't been playing Kepa for a while. They have been playing the bald guy, which his name escapes me right now, Carvalho or whatever his name is. I think he's like 47 years old. Besides Kepa. Kepa is also the goaler who refused to come out when Sarri wanted to take him out. So guys like that, we don't need more drama on this team. I want money, I want cash, and I want to be able to spend it on people and goaltenders that I want. The 60 million, the Kepa portion of it is to cover the other half that would get us to 100 million. So for me, I will give me 100 million and I'll pick my goalie.
So they're saying it's Kepa plus 60. He would take it. We'll see. We'll do again. These are all rumors from over there. Steve, I'm reading on MilanNews.it that la UEFA si valuta di portare a termine le coppe in agosto accorciando le stagione, saying that maybe they're thinking about prolonging the season and trying to do like some sort of cups in August. I know the Euro has been postponed. Are you still with our same assessment of last week? Like guys, just let it go and just scrap the season. Don't declare a winner. If you want to do some sort of playoff, do some sort of playoff. But are you still standing on the same grounds, Steve?
Yeah, I'm still on the same ground with the Cubs too, Vinny. Let's cut this out of the. Let's get it out of here. Get this. You know what? I'm saying this. Let's get the year 2020 over with completely. Let's move on. This season, unfortunately, will not end. We'll not have a champion. You know what? David's question was great. Who was going to win this championship? We don't know. But imagine if you're a Liverpool fan. Liverpool was like 97 points ahead in the season.
Yeah.
They were like 97 points ahead. They're not going to win the Premiership again. Now, if that's not snake bit, okay, yes, they won the Champions League, but everybody knows Liverpool is looking for that Premiership title. So imagine 97 points ahead in that race. They were going to win that. They were probably going to win the cup, and they had some fighting back to do in the Champions League. But hey, what do you want to do? Champions League weren't they eliminated? They were eliminated in Champions League. So
I find this. I want to talk to you about this one, and it says, that Larry says no one is going to have any money with this outbreak, and I looked at that one and I started thinking, Steve, I'm not a financial guy. I know the stock markets and the shit. Do you think that this will reflect on calcio mercato, on people buying? You think people's values will go down because people can't pay as much? I think the day and age of us seeing people, PSG signing for 250 million, I think those days are long gone. Do you think we'll see a bit of reflection upon the market on the calcio?
This is again, it's going to have to do with the richest league. The EPL will dictate market share of the players. The EPL, if they're signing like Harry Maguire's at 100 million, well, there's no adjustment. If they need to adjust, there will be an adjustment on the players on the fees that the players are sold for. But I think we've gone past that now. The players want to get paid, right? So they're looking at contracts in North America, NBA, $250 million max contracts. They're looking at NHL. They're looking at Major League Baseball, and they're saying, "Hey, we're missing the boat on here." So, like that adjustment never happened in soccer. So it was starting to happen, and at a certain point, soccer needed to ramp up on salaries and how much they pay. Yes, the taxes and all that stuff is different, and I'm not a financial guy, but I think we went too far in terms of how much we were selling players and teams like PSG, Man City, and and teams like Liverpool spending a whole bunch of money, almost $1 billion. Are those times gone? Look, again, it depends how everybody gets out of this terrible COVID-19 situation, and how everybody's finances look. There's a Massimo on the chat saying that UEFA is thinking of getting rid of the financial fair play for everybody for 2 years. It's great. It's going to help Milan, but you still have to have money to spend, right? So is that going to be a double-edged sword? Will you get rid of all this, and clubs are still going to be in debt after this? I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get out of this in terms of not how we're going to get out. To get out of the COVID-19, yes, the world will go on and the world will win. But the soccer and how things are played at, it's a roll of the dice. There's no real concrete answer. My gut feeling is that yes, there will be an adjustment. People will be more careful with their money.
But we've seen in the past where soccer and football just, don't adhere to those rules and people kept on spending. So, speaking of people spending and money, and David wanted to know, you guys think Maldini would have been fired if this whole coronavirus thing never happened? I think if they wanted to fire him, Steve, they would have fired him with Boban.
Yeah, they would have fired both of them together.
I don't think would he have gone at the end of the season. I don't think after all these years waiting to finally find a great program for him. And David says, "Don't touch your face, Steve, just in case you touched anything."
I've been stuck in this house for 3 weeks. I didn't touch anything.
Do you think he would have taken the road out at the end of the season, Steve?
Depends. It all depends on what the project is. Depends on again. It depends on Tommy's best friend, Gadzidis. Gadzidis and Elliot are the focal points of this going forward. You know what? Just thinking about it, and I keep on reading Massimo's comment over and over. I would like to see, with no financial fair play, where Elliot's going to put their money where their mouth is, and it's time to buy.
And hello to Tommy. Tommy's joining us live in him, and he's in quarantine over there. Say, Tommy, once we figure out how to do these three-way callings and put your boat on video, we'll get there. Steve, I wanted to. I just came across this interesting article on milannews.it written by Alberto Cerutti. Perso Ibrahimovic, servirebbe Icardi come nuovo scossa per il futuro. L'ex interista pazze idee come lo svedese, eccezione per confermare le regole di Elliott. So, saying, having lost Ibrahimovic, we would need an Icardi, like, a new striker for the future. It's a crazy idea like the Swede, but exceptionally, I don't know if he would be, going to the rules of Elliott. I know there was talks about Icardi back, when we're looking at Ibrahim or stuff like that. Steve, would you? Okay, I know money is money there, but would you take Icardi?
The money is not my problem. My problem is Wanda. My problem is the luggage and the baggage that Wanda is going to bring. Icardi, the player, yes. Wanda and Icardi together, the soap opera, absolutely not. Absolutely not, because, imagine a normal, I'm going to call him normal, but I'm going to say, imagine an Icardi without that drama on that Inter team right now. So that means you have Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez, and Icardi on the same team. That's a lot of depth, a lot of firepower on an Inter squad. They were so pissed off at his antics and his sideshow that they said, get out. Get out. Said, get out. They were going for the Scudetto this year, and they had to take their best player and say, get out, because of the sideshow. So unless the sideshow goes away, absolutely not. Icardi is not someone that Milan needs right now.
But
do they need his goals? Absolutely yes. Do they need his drama? Absolutely not.
But he hasn't produced any drama at PSG, has he, recently? It's because maybe the Italian...
Okay. There's Neymar for the drama at PSG. Neymar now, then no one can find it.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, nobody's agreeing with maybe bringing Icardi at one point, but in the end, guys, the way I look at it is he might bring some drama. Maybe a year away from Milan might have helped him out, but if we would have to lose Ibra and he comes out of cheap, I think we should listen. It's a business. I know he's a snake, but guys, what do you want to do? Is Edwin saying, didn't Ibra cause drama at Barcelona? Yeah, he's got a point there, Steve. He did, but then again, he's Ibra, right? Ibra Barcelona was already in the league for what? It had been at least 10 years, and Ibra was Ibra. I get what he's saying, but I don't think Icardi even. I hope Zanetti took him. He slapped him out a couple of times when he came out with his autobiography at 23 years old. But anyways, what do you say to that?
Guys, come on, Edwin. Barcelona also has this gentleman that we call Messi. Milan does not have Messi, so you could get rid of drama like Ibra. Imagine you can get rid of drama like Ibra and still not have an impact. Unfortunately, the way Milan is right now, the drama, we can't afford negative drama. We can afford positivity and the aura of Zlatan and what he brings and the pressure that he takes away and that type of drama. But not the Wanda and the players and Bangder and Bushi Bang and so on and so forth. Ibra couldn't get along with Pep. Maybe couldn't get along with Pep. Didn't agree with Pep because Pep's guy was Messi. And usually Ibra is the guy. And unfortunately on Barcelona, Ibra was not the guy, and we know now that Ibra was never going to be the guy because of this.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Steve, we're already 45 minutes in. I know we had a long intro, but I know it's hard to pick a. Do you have any indigestions for the week?
My indigestion of the week is like, people, please stay home and follow the rules again. Did we say this last week, or are we repeating ourselves?
It looks like we're gonna be there for a long time. So since then, I've lost my job. Several friends have lost their jobs. I know the government is coming in. I know for us Canadians, I know for you Americans, it's different. But it's we were closing the doors Tuesday on Tuesday, Steve, and some old man came trying to knock on the door. And it's one of the guys that comes all often, and he's like, I don't understand why you have to close. And I wanted to look at him and go, it's people like you that made us close, because you can't stay home, you can't do your shit. When grocery shopping at 8:30 in the morning on Saturday, and there was already a lineup. People are pushy. People are this. It's like, I think there's a difference between panic and taking it seriously. I think, we can see in the United States the cases growing up, even here in Quebec. Steve, what are we at, 3,000 this week? I know we have a pretty good plan, but stay the fuck home. Seriously, I know Facebook Frank was saying, the list of essential services in Ontario is different from Quebec. But in the end, Frank, as long as we all getting together, I know my brother in construction, same thing as of Tuesday, staying home. But yeah, guys, just stay the fuck home. Like, watch. There's that meme that goes around in the internet, Steve. Our grandparents were called to war. We're being called to sit on our fucking asses. Like, seriously, guys. I don't like to steal stuff, but just my grandfather walked 6 months in the fucking Sahara Desert fighting for Italy. We can stay the fuck home. Watch wrestling documentaries. That's what I'm doing. Steve, how are you pulling? I know you're still working from home. I know you got the kids. You coming watching WrestleMania on?
No, absolutely not. But you need to send me the wrestling documentaries that I should watch, so that I can become more of a wrestling advocate.
Dark Side of the Ring. The first season was fantastic. They came out.
That to me by text.
Yeah. Chris Benoit. If you guys haven't watched that, it's a fantastic one. What's that noise? Is that you? Okay. How about Steve? How about your feel-good moment of the week? Do you have any feel-good moment of the week?
Sport first. I want to keep mine.
How about the sports related? I like the little online Skype Zoom that the hockey players did. Ovechkin making fun of PK Subban. I know that we had a couple of guys from hockey. They did from basketball. LeBron James was on there. I wish they could do one for soccer. Like, maybe see, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, anybody, Ibrahimovic, just like on a 6-7 way call and just trashing each other. I think that would be fun. But it was kind of nice to see in the sports world, and not hearing too much about. I liked it how they didn't long too much on the salaries of these players. Are they going to be paid or not paid? Like, this is the least of our fucking worries. But how about you, Steve?
My feel-good moment is the rumors that the players. Not the players, sorry. The rumors that, I love rumors of Mercato. I hate rumors of real life issues, right? What I like now is I like that certain media outlets are talking about the truth. They're actually telling you exactly the way it is, what the numbers are, how many cases have been cured, how many cases have passed away. Unfortunately, but at least they're not trying to swindle a reaction from people, right? And of course, that reaction now, we're gonna see, and it's a bit part of my indigestion that I forgot to mention, is anybody raising the price on shit to make a quick buck. That's just terrible, especially with, like you said, Vinny, a lot of people losing their jobs and stuff like that. And like, if you price gouge and take advantage of people, that shouldn't be for you. And I'm not like Russia, and everybody talks bad about Russia, but apparently something like that happened in Russia, and I don't remember exactly which industry, but basically Putin said, "Oh yeah, they raised the price. Take away their business license." He literally said, "Take away their business license. They're raising the price. take away the business license.
I know it happened in Toronto as well, where they were selling Lysol for $29.99, and it's just very aggravating. Where at certain times these kind of Steve, everybody's saying WWE Network, the WrestleMania, it's a 2-day event. There's plenty of documentaries. It's free right now, WWE Network. So maybe you should catch that up, Steve. But Faz is saying, feel good, the New York Governor Cuomo. I don't know what he's been doing over there, Faz. His indigestion saying people trying to make it political in the U.S. Republicans' fault, Democrats' fault is ridiculous. You know what, Faz? I completely agree with you. I don't follow politics at all, but I'm not going to be here trashing on your president or praising your president. It just seems that Quebec, most of Canada, took it seriously from the beginning. And if you look at the cases in Canada and you look at the cases in the States, when you have maybe a president saying we should get back to work, when our prime minister is saying stay the fuck home and we might make you stay home for the next couple of months, people's lives are at stakes. And I think it was your governor. I don't know him personally. I don't even know who he is, what he does. But he says like 2% of the population is not something I want to sacrifice, even though they're old people. So in the end, guys, we're all in it together. We're gonna try to figure out how to maybe have a TV back here. Have Steve some way watch. We're going to try to do a watch along. I do have the 2003 Champions League final on hard drive. I have a Milan Lecce, Ronaldinho's first game when Ibra was his first game as a signee. I have the Supercoppa 2011 when we won, and unfortunately I have a derby from 2009 where we lost 4-0, but we might use that one to take out our aggressions. Steve, anything in the yes, everybody's saying watch along. That would be amazing, guys. We're going to try to figure it out. If anybody of you out there know how to, I know even I would have to be in the same room, but we need to have some sort of watch along. You guys know the way we're going to make it. For all you guys that are not from Quebec, a bric-a-brac, that's what we're talking about. Having a live phone here, having a TV back there, having Steve trying to watch. That's the way we're going to do it. No, not Supercoppa 1993, Faz. I'm not president. The Supercoppa from 2011 when they played in China, when we beat Inter down 1-0. Those are the games that I have. So to you viewers, listeners, to Radio Rossonera that recognize the Steve, did you see? Un grande Steve e Vincenzo che hanno fatto il podcast. They gave us some props.
Okay. At least.
They gave us some props over there. And thank you to David Amoyal. Fantastic guest, good questions. And in the end, Steve, anything for our... Hey, they're only 13, but I will take them. Anything to say to our 13 live viewers and to our thousands of listeners?
Stay safe, stay positive, stay strong. Forza Milan.
Guys, ovunque sempre. Forza Milan. We love you. Stay safe. Till next Monday. Arrivederci. Ciao, guys.
Forza Milan!